I mean, for me, sustainability is really about delivering scientific and technological solutions to actually make things happen on the ground. So when you say that you want to be able to achieve, environmental viabilities and economic benefits, and you want to be able to look at how we might be addressing issues around social equity, you need to be able to also see, is there enough science to deliver on those solutions? Can we take that science and translate that into technological benefits that allow everyone to take advantage of new technologies? So being affordable, making it affordable is an important way, I see sustainability. Of course, as we all know, Australia, we love our electronic devices, and I mean, from our perspective, even though we all would love to, make sure that things get properly recycled and all of that, but we just don't have the ability to do that in Australia. So, as a result of that, what we see is that, the large sort of smelting opportunities that exist in Europe, they can handle some of the e-waste, but because we don't have, for instance, copper smelters, for example, here, we are left in that position where we go, right, okay, well, the next best solution is, export it out to another country where, we might be able to see some of these smelters. So for me, it's very much about thinking completely differently, not thinking about, these large sort of mega factories that are basically guzzling away, different types of ores, copper ores and e-waste, but rather making it as simple as possible, which is, we know e-waste contains a lot of valuable elements, copper, tin, precious metals, for instance. We need to apply that science to understand how we can get to each of those on a small niche scale. And that's going to be really exciting from our point of view. It is that selective transformation at various temperatures is what I'm developing. So some of the other things that we've looked at, which has been quite interesting, is that how do we actually, if we were to really eliminate, our dependency on basically fossil resources, typically coal-based resources for metals manufacturing, for instance, what is the alternative? That's a question to ask. So when it comes to energy, people do realize that, renewable energy is all about, understanding how you might be able to use solar and wind, for instance. If you had to think about an equivalent in renewable materials, what would that be? And to me, it's really about saying, waste effectively allows you to create renewable materials. So ultimately, you tap into all of those elements that are locked in waste. You just have to find a way to unlock that potential. And one of the things we're looking at right now, for instance, as a renewable resource of carbon, using that example, we've actually been studying macadamia shells. Macadamia shells is a beautiful form of carbon, and of course, as we can appreciate, totally renewable. So from our point of view, the ability to deliver carbon using a renewable resource like macadamia shells is a fantastic way to achieve win-win, both from an environmental point of view as well as from an economic point of view.